Hey guys, welcome back. This is the part 2 of our user authentication using device in Rails 7 series. In this lecture, we will add more functionalities to our device demo application. I hope you have seen the first part of this lecture where we created a project and added device gem for user authentication and letter opener gem for email previews and also customized the device forms using Bootstrap. If you have not watched that part 1, please find the link into the description of this video. Now, in this second part of the lecture, we will cover 2 points. First, we will add custom attributes into user model and use them at the time of registration. Okay, and we will provide users facility to sign in either using email or username. So let's start with the first task here. Open your terminal and we need to add a migration to create custom attributes. So let's generate a migration Rails G migration add custom attrs to users. Okay. And is in this migration you can add the attributes of your choice, but I will add here first name, last name, address, contact number, and username so that I can use these attributes at the time of sign up. So let's open this migration and start adding into the values. So this is the migration here, and here I need to make add column. Okay, and then table name, users, and the attribute name, first name, and then it is the type of the field is the string. Okay, and we need this for last name as well, and we need this for contact number as well, and we need this for address, and same for the username. Okay, so we want to add five attributes here: first name, last name, contact number, address, and username. Now, when we run this migration, so before running the migration, let's open your schema. So here you can see right now our user model does not have these attributes, and when we run this migration, these attributes will get added to the schema.rb. So let's run the migration. Now open your schema. So here in schema, you can see that first name, last name, contact number, address, and username has been added to the schema. Okay. Now let's open registration controller that we generated using device. Okay, and you can find it in using app controllers in users directory. So let's go to the controllers in users, and here you can see the registrations controller. Okay, so at the top of the registration controller, you are seeing before action configure sign up params. Okay, so let's uncomment this line. Okay, and in this before action configure sign up params, we will provide our custom attributes. So you can find this method inside the protected section here. So let's uncomment this. Okay, and you can uncomment this one as well. And here we need to provide our attributes. Okay, so let's provide first name, then last name, contact number, address, and email, username, password, and password confirmation. So these are the attributes that we will provide upon the sign up. Okay, so here the custom attributes are first name, last name, contact number, address, and username. Okay, now what we need to do, since we added these custom attributes to the sign up params, now we need to add input fields for these attributes on the form. So let's open your registration form, go to the app views and users directory, and here in registrations new, let's open this file, and here we will provide our custom attributes name. So let's copy this We will add this in this division. Okay, here let's provide first name, f dot label, label for first name, and f dot input field, sorry, f dot text field, dot text field, and here you can write first name and add a class form control, lg. Okay, now copy this area, use it for last name as well, and do the same thing for contact number as well, and do the same for address, and do the same for username as well. And now open your browser. Here you can see no user is signed in, so let's click on the sign in and go to the sign up page. Okay, so here you can see the newly added attributes that we added into the users table, that first name, last name, contact number, address, username, and these are the attributes that were already there, email, password, and password confirmation. Okay, but before adding that, let's make a username. Let's add a validation for username into user model. So go to the user model. Okay, and here we will add a validation, that is validates username is true. So username cannot be blank, and we also need to make it unique true, because no two users can have same username. Okay, or no two users can register with the same username. Okay, so let's make it username as well, uniqueness true. Okay, so now this will add the validation to the username. Okay, what we have to do now, then let's provide some values here. Let's say Chetan Sharma, and contact number, let's say, and address, let's say Indore. Username is Chetan underscore Sharma, and email chetan@gmail.com. Provide password here, 1 2 3 4 5 6. Now submit the form. Okay, so you can see on the terminal at here, you can see that this confirmation email has been sent, and now when you check that these attributes, first name, last name, contact number, and username, has been saved to the database. Okay, so this was the first task that we have achieved by adding a migration for adding the custom fields, and then we allowed these as permitted params at the sign up. Okay, and if you wish, you can change this for update as well, but here we are only focusing on the sign up, so we are only adding it to the sign up action. Okay, so we added validations here, and we added these custom attributes on the form as well. And now let's confirm this user. Okay, now we can sign in for this user. So let's say chetan@gmail.com and provide its password. Okay, so now you can see this user has been signed in. Okay, now we need to switch into other part of the lecture, or the second task of this lecture, and that is provide facility users to sign in either using email or username. Okay, now we need to create a virtual attribute for this. Okay, since we added username and added validation for this as well, so it's time to add a virtual attribute in the user model to allow users to sign in either using email or username. So let's open your user model again, and in this user model let's add an attribute here, attribute accessor, and name this uh, virtual attribute as login. Okay. And now let's create a method for it, def login. And here we will add either @login or self dot username or self dot email. Okay, now we added the virtual attribute and method for it. Now we need to make changes in our device.rb to update the authentication keys. So let's open device.rb. In device.rb let's find authentication keys here. So control F, authentication keys. Okay, at the line number 49 uncomment this and remove this email and add login here. Okay, and after adding our authentication keys here, we need to update our user model as well. Okay, so let's copy these authentication keys and go to user model, and here after trackable let's write this authentication keys is login. Okay, so we saved it. Now we need to override the class method which is provided by device, that is used for database authentication. Okay, so whenever you pass your email, then it will match that email with corresponding password, then it allow you to sign in, and here we will override that class method. Okay, so let's open that, let's implement that method. Here we can write def, since it is class method so we need to use self with method. Okay, so find for database authentication, and in this method we need to provide warden conditions as the argument. And let's close this method, and in this method now let's start writing our logic. Condition equal to warden condition dot duplicate. Okay, now here you need to make if login equal to condition dot delete login. Okay, where, and here we need to check convert this condition to hash. So let's use conditions. Let's make it conditions, sorry, not, it is not condition, conditions dot 2h. Okay, this will 2h method will convert it to hash, and where here you need to write lower, and let's make it your username. Okay, and compare it with the value provided. So let's make it where username equal to value. Okay, or lower email. Okay, equal to value. Now add a comma here, and here we will need to check what is the value. So value is equal to login dot downcase. Use the first here. Okay, because we need to check the first uh, value available in the hash. Okay, now else if conditions dot has key username. Okay, or conditions dot has key email. Add a question mark here. Then we need to add another where class here, that is where conditions dot to h dot first. Okay, let's close this statement. Now we are almost done here because we added our login virtual attribute, we added authentication keys into the device modules as well, and we updated our device.rb as well. But now what we need to do, that we need to make a change into the sign in form. We need to replace email from there and use login as a text input field. Okay, so let's open your sign in form, remove this email, and you can make this the title here like username or email. Okay, and remove this text field, email field, and convert it to text field, and at the place of email just write login. Okay, and remove this one as well because we don't need autocomplete now. Okay, now sorry, not don't need autofocus now. And go to the terminal. Now we need to restart our server. Why? Because we made changes into device.rb. So let's close it and sorry, restart as well. And now we need to sign out this user, and we will sign in again with this user itself. Okay, so let's open the sign in form now. So here you can see the username or email. Now if you inspect this, you will see that we do not have any email field. Now we have text field, and the attribute name is login here. Okay, so just provide the username here. So the username for last user was Chetan underscore Sharma. So let's provide this username here, Sharma, and password. Now click on login. Okay, so here you can see that we are getting an error, undefined local variable or method login for user class. So let's see what happened this. So we got this error because we added the comparison operator here, even but we need to use assignment operator here. So let's remove this. Let's fix this. Open your user model, and here at line number 30, you can see that we have comparison operator. But remove this and add assignment operator here. And now refresh your page and sign in again with the username Chetan Sharma and provide password. Okay, so now our user has been signed in using the login attribute. Okay, or sign in using username. Here you can see. And for database authenticable, sign in count has been increased. And what we provide here, user login Chetan Sharma, not email. And now let's log out with this user and let's try to sign in with email. So that sign in with email is also working. Open the login form, chetan@gmail.com, and provide password here. Okay, so now you can see that you are able to log in with or a user is able to log in with both email and username. Okay, so that was the main purpose of our this lecture. Okay, and we are done here for the part 2 as well. So let's summarize that what we done in this part 2 lecture. So first we allowed custom attributes with user registration, and then we provided facility to use users to log in with either email or username. Okay, and you have to make these changes as these changes are necessary. That first update the authentication keys in the device.rb. Okay, and then provide those authentication keys in below the modules of the device, and then add a virtual attribute. Okay, here you can use login as anything, like for example sometimes username is not required, but you have to log in with either phone number or email, just we do in the Facebook. At the Because at the Facebook you have to require login with either your phone number or your email. So you can use this you can use your contact number as well for in place of username. Okay, and then you have to override this method into your user model. Okay, because this is the necessary. And then after adding that, you need to make changes in your sign in form. You need to remove email field and just provide a login attribute there, so that it can take either username or email. And for the first task, what you need to do, that you need to make changes in the registration form to add first name, last name, contact number, address, or whatever the attributes you want to add at the time of sign up. You need to add those attributes here. And then in registration controller, you need to use a before action callback, and in that callback you can permit those params here. Okay, so that's all from this lecture. In another part of this lecture, we will work on how to redirect users on a specific page after sign up. I mean, showing up a custom page for confirmation waiting. Okay, because right now we sign up using a new user, and a confirmation email has been sent and we redirect it to the login screen. But we will change that login screen and we will redirect it to users on a page where we can say that your confirmation is pending, please confirm your account first and then sign in. Okay, so we will do that in third part or in another lecture. So thanks for watching this, and let's meet into the next part of this lecture. Till then, tata, goodbye, take care and stay safe.